It was 10:37 a.m. on a Friday morning. Me and my wife were laying in bed. She rolled over and said to me, "I'm leaving for New York in a couple months to pursue my music career." I said, "I know, I'm behind you 100%. And then she said, "I think we should get divorced before I leave." I don't know if you've ever had an out-of-body experience, but I literally didn't know if the floor was going to be there when I stepped out of bed. Cut to modern day. I've been on a spiritual quest my whole entire life. From studying out-of-body experience, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, quantum mechanics and how this universe is put together. But I've never ever had a lucid, altered state of consciousness experience like the one I'm about to share with you. I was in the hospital room with my wife 6 years ago last month actually, and my boy was 15 minutes away from entering this plane of existence. And all of a sudden, in the hospital room, at the foot of the bed, my deceased grandparents were standing there. And then at the head of the bed, my deceased parents were standing there. And they were a bit grayish off color. They were in a different dimension after all. And so as I was thinking, my deceased grandparents were showing up, and my deceased parents, all of a sudden my boy started to enter this world, and everything stopped, froze, and started moving in super slow motion without sound. And clock time has probably lasted 10 to 15 seconds, but it felt like I was on a movie set that lasted forever. Then all of a sudden he came into this world and everything went fast forward again. The colors were brighter than ever, the sound, doctors, nurses, everyone was cheering and screaming. I was sitting there in awe of what I just experienced. Movement is everywhere. Miracles are everywhere. You have to be in joy to enjoy life. You have to be in a constant state of full wonder to have a wonderful life. This is where the movie changeover happens, where we flash back to the opening scene. 10:37 a.m. on a Friday morning. "I think we should get divorced before I leave" will forever ring in my head. And then she said, "Oh, by the way, there's divorce papers on the coffee table for you to sign." The overwhelming anxiety that took over me just left me numb. So, 2 months later, after 14 and a half years of marriage, she's leaving for the airport without a tear in her eye. And I just looked at her and thought, who did I marry? I pulled my last $400 cash out of my pocket to try to help her on her travels. She wouldn't take it. She just threw the suitcase in the trunk and drove off. And I sat there motionless as the car drove out of sight. For the next several months, I would just lay in bed staring at the ceiling. I couldn't sleep, anxiety racing, heart pounding. I was literally sweating without sleep at all. I just went to work. On the way home from work, I'd be driving 95 miles an hour on the 101 freeway, and I thought to myself, if I just crank this steering wheel real hard to the right now, flew off this freeway, I bet that would stop this anxious thought in my head. I was contemplating suicide. So I'd get back home, I'd just lay in my lazy boy chair, I don't know, weeks, months at a time. I'd come up in and out of consciousness. I'd come up just long enough to think about, oh, my life is back to normal. Then instantly I'd remember she's gone, and she's never coming back. So one day I just laid in that lazy boy chair. I said, just take me. I don't have the balls to commit suicide, and I can't handle this rough chatter in my head anymore. Now, I don't know if my prayers were answered, but I slowly started coming back to life. I showered, got to work. Even though I was completely numb still, at least my mind was starting to slow down. So then I would purposely train myself not to think about that situation, not to go down that dark fork in the road, because every time I thought about it, there was nothing but darkness, sorrow and pain with no solutions. I'd pull over on the side of the road on the way home or whenever I needed to, and just give myself 10 to 15 minutes to meditate, to slow my mind down to the speed I was living, just to have some kind of positive thought. It took me over a year to get back to life. So a few years after that, I was relaunching my online coaching program, and I hired a marketing coach, and she said, "You need a signature story." I told her the story about my wife walking out on me with extreme anxiety face. She said, "That's it? That's your signature story?" I said, "Hell no. I'm not reliving that pain. No way." She said, "But think about how many people you could help end anxiety." Okay. So, I was developing my online anxiety program, Slow Your Mind Down to the Speed You're Living, and I realized there was no definitive definition of anxiety. Like even the Mayo Clinic said, well, we don't know what anxiety is or where it comes from or how to end it or blah, 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 blah. I said, what are you talking about? I know exactly what anxiety is, exactly where it comes from, and exactly how to end it. So I had to come up with my own definition of anxiety at that point. Here it is. Where you're physically out in the universe, where your mind is projected in the future with negative thoughts, that gap is anxiety. You can never control it because you can't control the future. So what the mind and body are doing, what Stuart Wilde calls etheric leaning, on the outside you look like this, but on the inside your etheric body is leaning, trying to get to this future, this negative projection that you completely made up. So the body doesn't know any different, so the heart rate kicks up, fight or flight. It's literally racing, trying to get to a future that doesn't exist. The problem is you can't start with the mind. That's the part that's out of control. It's like my analogy, you can't fix a broken screwdriver with that same broken screwdriver. You need another tool. So the other tool in this situation is your breath work. I know in the situation it doesn't feel like you're in control of your breath, but you are. And if you took, in that situation, 3 deep breaths, and I mean held them as deep as you can and as long as you can, that last exhale, your mind, that racing mind and your heart rate would just naturally have to slow down. That's just the way it works. So, as I developed my online program, I say everything is, well, this sounds cliche, but everything happens for a reason. Actually, I thank my ex-wife now for walking out on me, because if she didn't, I wouldn't be able to spend time with my beautiful new wife and my son. And believe me, spending the last 6 years with this old soul, teaching me how to meditate, I've learned a lot of stuff. So, what I want to give you, my gift to you today is what I call experiential knowledge, because I want you to actually experience what it feels like to start to slow that roof chatter. That racing thought that everyone thinks they are, their mind, I want to give you experience of what it feels like to slow that down and relax the physical body. So in a moment, I'm going to ask everyone to close their eyes, and I promise to you, I'm not going to hypnotize you. Wink, wink. No, I just want you to experience what it feels like. I call it experiential knowledge because we could talk all day about how the mind works, but sinking into it is just a beautiful, beautiful feeling. So I want everyone, just allow your eyes to close for a moment. It's only going to be a couple moments. Allow your eyes to close. Feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap, and just relax into it. Now what I want you to actually think about as we go through this is, what's your conscious mind doing? Is it playing along? Is it saying, oh, these deep breaths and relaxation, this is an internal job for you? Or is it sitting back going, oh, I don't believe in this new age woo-woo stuff? That's going to help you determine whether you can meditate moving forward, because this is experiential knowledge for you. So, I want everyone to take a deep breath in, as deep as you can. Really fill up your lungs. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just start to sink in. Drop the shoulders. Feel your body start to sink in the chair. Now take a second deep breath in for me, as deep as you can. Really fill up your lungs. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just really drop in. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. And just notice as your heart rate slows down with these deep breaths, that conscious racing thought just naturally slows down also. Now third and final deep breath in as deep as you can. Really fill up your lungs. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Really drop in. Just let everything go for the next few moments. Just enjoy this deep relaxation. Now I want you to use your imagination and visualize a white healing light coming down through the top of your head. And each and every muscle group we go through is going to relax and let go of all physical tension and worries of the day. Visualize that white light coming down through the top of the head, through the forehead, through the eyes, releasing the tension behind the eyes, through the cheekbone, through the jaw, and all the way down to the neck. White light through the top of your head, through the back of the head, and all the way down to the neck. Now just imagine your head engulfed in this white, healing, relaxing light, as if there's like an aura surrounding your head, and you notice your thoughts just start to naturally slow down. Now that white light goes down through both shoulders at the same time. Feel the weight of the world just gently roll off your shoulders. White light down through both arms at the same time. Through the forearms, through the hands, and all the way out the fingertips. Just relax your arms. Now that white light's coming down through the torso, chest and back at the same time, healing the lungs, healing the heart as that white light circulates around the heart, naturally slows the heart rate down, makes it stronger. White light down through the stomach, all the way down to the waist. Now imagine that white light through your upper back. Feel your shoulder blades literally roll away from your spine. Give yourself permission to let go. White light down through the middle back, all the way down to the low back, and down to the waist. Now just imagine your whole upper body engulfed in this white, healing, relaxing light. Sink in deeper now. Visualize that white light going down through both legs at the same time, pushing out all negative tension, worries of the day, down past the knees, through the calves, down through the feet, and all the way out the toes. Feel that negative energy just leave your body. And now, just recognize how relaxed your physical body is, heart rate slow. Notice that conscious roof chatter you've been listening with all day, just slow down naturally. Moving forward, you now have this power of relaxation deep inside of you. Anytime you need this tool, you can take 3 deep breaths. Visualize that white light healing. Set you right back to now. Now in a moment, I'm going to be counting up from 0 to 5. When we get to 5, it's eyes open wide awake. You're going to feel rejuvenated. A few moments in a deep state of meditation or hypnosis is like hours of restful sleep. So even when I start at 0, the body has a tendency to go a little deeper at 0. You're in such a relaxed place. Then we back up at 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, mentally clear and alert. 3, bringing back all the guided visualization with you. 4, feeling yourself where you're meditating. And 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. Take in one more deep breath for me. And exhale, rejuvenated, refreshed, and relaxed. You have this power of meditation in you from this moment forward. So I want to leave you with this. It's a quote by Albert Einstein, who's saying the exact same thing. Kind of sums up everything I've been talking about. He said, you can't fix a problem from the same level of thought that created the problem. Namaste.